can get into the tech industry and make over $100,000 a year with little to no experience, and you do not have to code. UX UI design. That sounds really complicated. It's not. It's not. It's basically a company saying like, hey, make my app suck less. My app is hard to use. I want someone to come in and knows apps. If you've used apps before, if you ever had one that feels good, you're like, man, this feels good. I know where everything is. This is awesome. That's user experience. Have you ever kind of looked at like, oh, that's user interface. You got it. Anyone can do it. Well, I don't even have the tools to build it. Let me tell you about a secret website. It's called Figma. Figma. It's an application and it is used by everyone. The big companies that I work for, multi-million-dollar companies, all of our UX UI designers are using Figma. And as developers, we love it. You get to click through an entire app and see how everything's supposed to work. It really makes sense, logical, and put together. Well, I don't know how to use Figma. I don't have a computer. I don't want to buy it. I don't have money. It's free. It's on the browser. Any computer you have can run it, and you can learn how to use it. Well, then what should I do? Take a bunch of tutorials? No. I say come up with an app. Make up your own app. Make up your own mobile app that you just think is silly. It could be Uber for dogs, whatever it is. Or one that you really want to build. And then design it. What would it look like? What would the login screen look like? What would the confirmation screen look like? How would it interface? Go put it on there. Just do it in Figma. There, now you've got your first one to even show off. Great. Now you've learned the skill. People are paying big bucks for this. Go to Indeed. Go to Indeed and look up UX UI designers. You're going to see salaries. You're going to see some low ballers at $50,000. Ignore all those. $100,000 to $150,000 a year for the jobs, and look up the contracts. You can easily get a contract starting at $50 an hour. If you're willing to take the risk and truly go contracting where you just work independent for anyone that needs you, you could easily earn over $200K your first year of doing this. It's simple. You do not have to be a programmer to work in tech. In fact, less than half of us that work in tech are actually programmers. In addition to that, if you write up your own Figma app, let's say you have an app idea. I have people coming to me all the time with an app idea. I have an app idea. As a developer, I hear it all the time. You came to me and said, I have an app idea. Here's all my Figma screens. Here's what it looks like. Oh man, that is porn to developers. We look at that like, ooh, I can already see how I could build that. That is amazing. That will move you further along. Now, to get your first job, you're working for a company. How do I get this job? I have this company I want to work for. Download their app. Go reimagine it. Yeah, take the time. Reimagine their app how you would do it. Put it in Figma. So you put all the little segments. And when you apply, say, hey, I want to apply for this job, and I've also reimagined your app. I have some ideas. I'd love to show them to you. Use that as your step in the door. Then that becomes part of the thing. It doesn't take school. It doesn't take degree. In fact, that hurts you. We need people that are younger and using applications. The world is too much full of old people like me that we just do it the same old boring way we've always done it. And if you went to school, you're going to learn the same old boring way. No. We need fresh eyes, fresh people. If you love using apps, look at UX UI.